Well, what a crowd. 160 RSVP. That's the biggest we've ever had at one of these. I guess we're going to have to start doing an early version and a later that day version. Today, we celebrate community. A community with fiscal responsibility, economic development, partnerships, collaboration, and relationships. As we go through this program, we'll be highlighting those topics. I didn't do it all alone. Tony made it sound like it, but the city administration helped, obviously, and the city administration doesn't do it by itself. City council, we all are in this together, and you as citizens and interested parties are as well. If you'll go to the first slide, just, our sponsors again. And just to highlight the city council members, 4 of them are here, are out of the 5. And we are always grateful for their dedication. You know, this is a really high-paying job. They'll tell you, Charlie always wants to finally get a paycheck. We do this, the city council and myself, without pay. And that tells you what dedication my people have for the city of Early. Next slide. Our Early's growth. This is kind of a report card from last year. And I'm not going to read everything on all these slides, but I will call your attention to a couple of highlights. 3 new businesses, HTO, Brothers RV Park, and HTED come in this time. 176 total building permits, which is a pretty good number. And of course, the town center, if you haven't been out there to walk, you really need to get out there. It's very busy all times of the day, and it's lighted as well. And of course, some typical housekeeping things, that drudgery of the cities, paving streets, or repaving streets. With that in mind, let's go to fiscal responsibility. This is a chart showing the property taxes and of what the property tax rate in 2019-2020 was 0.5410, and this year it's 0.392. That's per 100. Now that's an amazing drop, and at the same time an amazing thing that we're able to do so much with a relatively small property tax. I didn't check with Tony before, but I think we're either the lowest or the next to the lowest in the county as far as property tax. At the same time, you see a chart at the bottom showing the amount of money that particular rate is slated to bring in, and this year 1.4 million. And a good percentage of this property tax money we use to make budget of the police department and fire department. So the citizens of Early, when they're paying their property taxes, are really paying for the primary services that every city you have to have, and that's police and fire protection. For sales tax, which makes up a good percentage of our operating budget, as you can see from 1920 till now, our sales tax has continued to rise. We have and it looks like from this angle, light green as the budgeted, and the dark green is the actual sales tax collected. So we've been very realistic in budgeting realistically on what sales tax would come in, but at the same time, we're actually bringing in much better. And if you caught the news, this last report that was talked on the news, radio news this morning, our sales tax was up again this past month, while some of our friends were down. And as you can see, we're continuing to bring business in, and this is truly telling us and reflects just how strong our economy is in Brown County and the city of Early. And we're going to look at a puzzle as we go, and so this is kind of the puzzle after it's put together. Teamwork, with each department being part of the whole to make the whole team. Developmental services, community outreach. We're doing a Smart City Expo, and that's May 2nd at McDonald Park, where we have a display of all our equipment and our city employees to meet the public. Again, 176 total permits issued, and 479 inspections. Now, the top number and the bottom number really tell a lot, because the more permits we issue, the more buildings going on in the city, and more inspections tells us the progress of those and other building projects. The residential housing development is going to provide new homes in the 200 block of Longhorn. Ultimately, they're aiming at 250 new homes. I used to tell the school board that, but 250 more families coming to town eventually. And they're in phase 1 right now. And they're going to, of course, be tied to the rest of the development of the city with a sidewalk. We've actually been working on that. Actually, the TxDOT, it's a TxDOT grant, and the contractor for TxDOT's actually been doing the sidewalk.
My name's Wyatt Hinton. I'm here for Sunrise Property Group on behalf of Early Springs Estates, and that's the name of our development here in Early, Texas. So we took a look at this area, and our master plan development is 254 lots. We're trying to do this over a 10-year period. Kind of what brought this vision together was the lack of lots available to build on, really the lack of new homes in this area, and the demand for the people that are coming to this area to want a nice new home, really. People retiring from the VA to teachers wanting to teach here. I mean, you want to find a home, and it's kind of hard to do, especially something that's ready to move into, new, top quality in the neighborhood that you want to be in. We grew up like this, like we just rode our bikes around our neighborhood. We didn't have a worry. Life was about making ramps for your bike and just having a good time. And we kind of designed the neighborhood to limit the traffic flowing through the neighborhood so people can enjoy that kind of thing and kids can feel safe and just directly cross the street to a park. We've sold all of our Skyview lots already. We had 8 on this road, and we're getting ready on the inside to do our 29 first internal lots of the development that are going to be around the detention pond that they've started to dig that out and get the road started. I can see it bringing people in, creating jobs. Already we have the sidewalk that they put in the front of the place all the way across to the park. We do plan on donating the land that is part of the detention pond back to the city if they want to do something with that as far as a park, or, I mean, it's almost 19 acres in the front of it. It's a massive pond. We found people coming in from California to New York to Georgetown, I mean, wherever, Austin, and we get people coming from all over the place, and they really want a nice, safe little city. I really want to say thank you to the city of Early. Without Larry and Tony, Jeremy, even Brenda helping, different people working with us on this project, it just wouldn't happen. Our partnership with them has been crucial in setting our utilities and doing the rest of our infrastructure moving forward through the development, and it's a pretty large development. Oh, it makes me feel proud. When I have family come visit, or I'm always proud to show them what's going on in Early, the expansion of Early, and expansion in the right way. It makes me happy.
So you already here first, if you can know if somebody says, well, if there any housing, you can say, we've got some housing being developed, and it's going to be a large development when it's all said and done. Thank you, guys. All right, in our police department, we have 10 officers. You can again read all of this, but I wanted to call attention to one especially, and that's the campus officer, the officer on the school resource officer. Stand up. I've checked with her a couple of times during the year, and she survived. Obviously, police and fire protection are very important. Go ahead. Our fire department, we have 6 full-time now. We're definitely moving away from volunteer, even though we still have 10. Probably the most interesting part of this is the number of continuing education hours that they're required, and of course, new equipment. Always new equipment. They're getting ready to talk about a hook and ladder truck, which may bring a new fire department station. I don't know yet. Anyway, fire department. Go ahead. Public Works. Lots of things we could say on this slide. I thought the most interesting thing was 978 work orders have been completed on this last year. And that averages, and this is the interesting thing, if you think about it this way, 978 work orders, that averages 81 and a half work orders per month. So our public works are very busy. Aren't they, Mike? Now, I also think it's interesting the number of brush pickups, and that averages 59 brush pickups per month too, which is a lot of cleaning up and other necessities, brush as well as big pieces of trash we can't throw away otherwise. Public Works is the unsung heroes. They're the ones that are there every day, no matter what the weather is. And next time you're driving down Early Boulevard and you see the big truck with the guys on the end, give them a holler. Yeah, give them a clap of applause, because they're doing a very important job, even though it doesn't seem to be there at the time. Now the other side of this is utility revenue. And again, this is 1920 through present. Yellow is sanitation. The dark is sewer, and then the light green is water. And you'll see that we're progressively getting higher and higher on the utility revenue. Well, we better if we're growing, and we are growing. And so obviously these numbers are going to go up. The good news is that this money that we're collecting is being turned back into more utility, repair and new utility. So it's not going into the bank account for savings or anything. It's actually being used to keep funding the program. Now we come to what we're going to call municipal partnerships. And the first one, many people don't know about, is the blanket sanitation. A few years ago, Blanket came to us and said, we cannot afford to buy a truck to pick up our trash. And what could you do for us? And we've worked out a contract with them starting in 2017, and they are quite pleased. In fact, they just renewed the contract.
I'm Judy Oak. I'm the mayor of Blanket. They come out and they pick up our trash weekly for us, and it's just it's been a great help for us. It was difficult for us to try to keep our big truck. It was an older truck. Try to keep it running for us. It seemed like every time we had to have something done to it, it was quite expensive for us. So with the contract that we have with Early, it's much better for us. They come out. I don't think we've had any problems at all with them. If anything happens, we call, and they'll even come back out if they miss a route. They'll come back out and pick it up for us that same day. So it's been working out great for us. The marketing, getting word out, getting people to come out and see us and see what we have to offer out here. It does help. It really does. With our new restaurants opening up out here, we've had lots of people coming out. I've even seen limousines at the restaurant down here. So. I think it's very important to have a good working relationship with your fellow community folks. It just helps everybody, you know. When something happens, you reach out and they're there to help you, and that makes a lot of difference to us.
You saw in that video there the phrase connecting the county, connecting cities. Our CVB, our Citizens Visitors Bureau, has begun a project called Beyond Early. And this project is aimed at tying and connecting our communities around us so that we can share the message of what we each have and each help each other in ways that maybe they couldn't before. Blanket's trash truck situation was a good example. They couldn't afford to buy the truck, and they didn't know what to do with the trash, and obviously we get another truck out of it, but we're also picking up the trash for them. And as you see on this slide, Beyond Early, it talks about marketing impact. Our CVB page is advertising some things that other cities are doing. Right now we have just Blanket on there, but Denise tells me soon we'll have May and Zephyr and some others as well. And we're reaching out and creating community in the county. Okay. And that brings us to the Convention and Visitors Bureau. And the one interesting thing that I picked up off of this that I wanted to highlight was the fact that we had 33 events sponsored last year by the CVB hotel tax money, and that averages about $275 per month for every project. Now, they weren't spent that way, obviously, but we're doing quite a bit, and I'll show with the slide next on hotel tax. Notice in 2016, hotel motel tax brought in $125,000. This year it's projected to bring in $387,000. We're bringing in a lot of heads and beds, and we're using the money for sponsoring activities and things of that nature, which in turn brings in more heads and beds. Okay? And Parks and Recreation. I didn't see David Guest. Is he here? He misses his times every time I want to give him a standing ovation. All I can say about Parks and Recreation, wow, what we've done since we started really getting serious about Parks and Recreation. What these parks do to our city. And as I said, there are lots of people out there sidewalking at the town center, and they're from all over. We were out there for Howard Payne Community Development Day, and I talked to some of these people, and some of them were Brownwood, some of them were Comanche, coming over and walking on our sidewalks. It's going to be a great time when all of these things are finalized. But next time you see one of our park people, tell them thank you for all the hard work they do. Then we come to state agency collaboration. And of course, this begins really when we began talking about Town Center Park. The Parks and Wildlife, Texas Parks and Wildlife came to us and said, we'd like to help you develop the lake, and we'll stock it. And you can read here what some of the things that they've done. And we're going to listen to a video from the Texas Parks and Wildlife.
My name is Michael Homer, Jr. I am the District Supervisor of the Texas Parks and Wildlife Inland Fisheries Division Management Office in Abilene. The Town Center site is actually a program that we have partnered in with the City of Early through our Habitat and Angler Access program, which is a relatively new program within the state. The City of Early was a recipient of a grant back in 2021 to help create some fish habitat within the pond, assist with providing some of the shoreline stabilization like the riprap that you see around. We've also worked with them to put in 2 fishing piers, the dock lighting, also aeration systems, and we recently also stocked fish. but this is all intended to provide a good community fishing opportunity for local residents and anybody visiting the town that wants to have something that may not necessarily be in a setting like the big lake at Lake Brownwood. This is really intended for folks that want to have something just convenient, and so this is really attractive for families and that may have little kids or are looking for something quick and easy to get in, out, and then also be close to other types of amenities like walking trails and restaurants. And so this is a really awesome opportunity for us to be a part of something that is much bigger than just the pond here. The City of Early is also a recipient of some additional funding through this next biennium that's going to help fund kayak launches, both one here at the pond as well as one on Pecan Bayou, which is actually one of our Texas paddling trails. And so that's going to offer another unique recreational opportunity for people that are visiting to get involved in something in the outdoors. You know, it's been a very great partnership working with the City of Early. The staff have been absolutely great. The community is very enthusiastic about all the things that are happening out here, and it's a really awesome flagship project, not just for the City of Early, but even for TPWD and our involvement through the Habitat and Angler Access Program.
And for those that fish, we've restocked the lake Wednesday, so the summer fish are there. Community relationships. This is a major goal of the city, to build community. And I can't think of a better example than the Deborah Tyson Shields Pavilion. We got a video on this as well.
Dan Tyson.
Okay.
I'm Darren St. Alma.
Brad Tyson.
Larry Shields. I was a husband, and this is my 3 sons. Well, this was the old early football field, and we all played football here. A long time ago, I played here, and all the boys played here, and it was just kind of a sacred deal. And the city called me, and they wanted to do something with the old field house.
Deborah, didn't matter who you were, no matter when you saw her, she had a smile for you that made you feel like she knew everything. And it just made you feel so like you were family.
The glue that held everything together.
For sure.
She was our everything, and like I said in the dedication, legacy is about what you leave behind, you know, and the impact you leave on the community and family. She still impacts all of us.
The other day, Sunday, I was driving up and down the street, and a lady stopped me and said, "I remember your mother. When my husband passed away, she brought me 4 or 5 books of stamps so I could mail out thank you letters for everybody that was." And she said she didn't charge me. She just put them in the mailbox and said if I needed more, let me know. And that was just her.
It was a very personal project where it represents who she was, and this is for families, and that's what Deborah was all about.
The last 6 months of her life, she lost her boys, so we did that to each other 100 times a day. So it's the kids that's got it on
From the
everything.
little grandkids to
The kids have got it
adults.
on every shirt,
Kids.
my pickup. A lot of people think it's a Longhorn. Well, that's a Longhorn. Even over at the school, you know, my granddaughter was the mascot over there, and so that's a Longhorn, and that's sign language for I love you.
In the trusses, in the cages, those are rocks from her flower bed. These were Deborah's rocks. These are every one of those rocks she touched. So I thought that was an important detail in the design, to have something that was personally sweet to her.
Funny about that is that's in the braces, and she's what held everything together. And that's what those.
That's right.
Yeah. When you're involved in something like this in a town, lets you have a say and lets you be a part of something, that speaks volumes.
It's almost contagious, and it starts from the top of the people at the city of Early down to the people in the community want to be part of it because they are welcoming.
Since the funeral, several people in the communities told me that Deb has made their life better. And so this place was sacred to us. And she always taught us that to find true peace and happiness is to find your purpose in life. And her purpose was to make other people's lives better. And so we use this facility. We got together and used this facility to make the community better and the park better, and just to help other people be happy here.
Development District. Since we changed to this format, we have really been able to help a lot of businesses and track businesses, etc. The outstanding, phenomenal accomplishments the MDD has, and the MDD board and the MDD director Larry McCon have done for the city of Early. One of the things that we've got is batting cage. If you were there the day it opens, you are one of 350 people that used the batting cages on the first day. And as best we can tell, that means 5,255 balls were thrown by the machines in the batting cage that day. And they're busy all the time, every day, now that we've got it working. Town Center. As you well know, the Town Center is the new heart of the city of Early, and we've been working on the Town Center Park portion and the lake, but we're also continuing to progress on the retail housing area on the other side of the lake. And you'll see a lot of construction between now and December. is a catalog of our historical record of what we've been building and doing out there. Some of you watched it day by day, some of you hadn't seen it, but it's amazing progress. To do that and to do everything we have done, I could spotlight every single one of our employees, but today we're going to spotlight 3 in particular. Daniel Castillo, Mike Cantwell, and Ashley Featherston. You see there, 30 years, 23, and 25 years of service for the city of Early.
My name is Daniel Castillo, and I've been here 30 years.
I'm Mike Cantwell, probably been here about 22, 23 years.
I'm Ashley Featherston, and I've been here 24 years.
Well, most of the things I've been doing since in 20 years, we lay pipe, pipeline, taps, cover them up. This park was nice to come out here and work during the day, and in a week or two you could step back and still see what we have done and how nice it looks.
In the last 8 years, we built 6 fields, top-notch, state-ready fields. We've been hosting state tournaments for the last 5 years, so that should say something. McDonald Field, we turned it in from a football field to a walk-in. And basketball, volleyball, Soundgarden, I mean, it's top-notch.
I think the town's come a long way. Getting rid of the water plant, putting in the sewer line, the sewer plant. You know, we used to have to battle that water plant daily. It was a mess. It was outdated. It was time, right on time.
It's really important. It gives the kids something to do, gives them somewhere to go and do something besides getting in trouble. I think it's really good for them.
Well, I know down here there's a lot, everybody that comes by, you just saw them drive by.
Yeah, give us
They love it down here. They do. All of them.
I do feel appreciated, especially when somebody comes to me
Right,
and says,
just
man,
give you
y'all
thumbs
really
up."
made that place look nice.
Yeah.
Y'all done a good job down there.
I really enjoyed it down here, and I think it's going to last a long, well, it will last a long time, and just keep getting better.
Now we finally come to what most of you came to see or hear. What's coming? What's coming? And we're going to look at the first thing we'll call a Brown County Partnership. And that's the family YMCA. You've heard about this already. So we'll just segue right into the video that we have about the Y.
I saw in the news about the town center, the early town center, and we'd had some interest from that area about putting a YMCA there before. And I just thought, what a great location and how progressive they are, you know, with the boardwalk and everything, and just aesthetically, that just looked like a nice place to have a YMCA. So having the aspect where they can come out and work out at the Y or get out and walk the walking trail and then come back to the Y and shower, that's great. So aesthetically, it was very pleasing and just looked like a great project. And so I reached out to the city of Early. I mean, you know, we could end up doing kayak lessons or helping with nature trail walks and education type things. The green space that's behind there, we can have yoga in that green space, possibly outdoor pickleball. So that it's pretty unlimited what we can do, and so it's great to have that much area around there, and just such a nice site. So our imagination's the only thing holding us back. No Y's is the same. They're not cookie cutter. It's not like a McDonald's, you walk in, they all basically look the same. Y's are different based on what the needs of that community are. And so we needed that input from folks. So one of the unique things that happens in a YMCA is that a community forms within the community. And so there are folks of all different backgrounds, all different ages that get together, and they may play pickleball, they may walk on a treadmill next to each other. And so it's just a wonderful time for people to gather together and then kind of form that bond. And it serves all ages. We talk about from infants to seniors. We have people bringing babies into our facility. We have people in their 90s that are coming in and doing water aerobics. And so it's just a really unique thing that brings people together.
So, the Brown County YMCA. We also are getting ready to build the boardwalk. And this is going to be on the east side of Town Center Lake. And this is the way it's going to look as far as the architectural pictures. And we begin construction hopefully before May is over. And so you'll begin, like I said earlier, you'll begin to see some busy work out there, some business and construction out there at the Town Center Lake area. Now the next one, I don't feel comfortable talking about this myself, so I'm going to let Tony talk on this one.
We can't talk about the town center that we're getting ready to build Mangrum Street without explaining Mangrum Street. And so last year when we were platting the town center and coming up with the street names, unbeknownst to some of the council members and the mayor, it was decided that we felt like it was very important to honor those who have served for such a long period of time and have got us to this point and brought that vision forward. And so, oftentimes you're left in a situation where you memorialize somebody. In this situation, we want to celebrate the value that they've provided. And so there's 3 main streets that run through there. One of them is Mangrum, named after our mayor, who has served 25 years for the city of Early over the course of that career. Like he said, not paid for 25 years. He's seen a lot. He's seen good times, he's seen bad times, he's seen better times. And so we wanted to honor him. Another main street through there is Alcorn Street, which is the honoring of our mayor pro tem, Benny Alcorn, who has served for 23 years as a city council member, and he also served in the Economic Development Board prior to that. And then the other street is Tatum, which cuts across the middle of it. That is in honor of Miss Helen Tatum, who is still living, and her husband was a city council member as well. So between the 2 of them, they served city council for 16 years. And so what a fitting way to build community, to build our town center around these 3 honored individuals. And so with that, I'll let Mayor Mangrum explain what we're about to do with Mangrum Street.
Well, like the boardwalk, we will begin construction of that street. And if you look on this map, it's running from the bottom of the screen to the top. In other words, north to south, or south to north. And it'll be the first street with the retail, etc. on it, that's on the side, the west side of the road on the lake. And hopefully both of those will be done before the calendar year is over. Anyway, then we've got some new developments, and we want to go to this one, local economic development, and play this particular video.
I'm Brent Hutchins. And this is Kenneth Hutchins.
And we've been building in Brown County, mostly residential homes, and for around 20 years.
So when we was driving by, we was looking at the boardwalk, you know, we just looking at pictures of it on the town square there, and we was like, man, we want to be a part of this, you know. And we was eventually looking back in here, like some apartments and stuff. But you know, we was, looking at that, we was like, man, we want to be right in the middle, right up front. And so we want to buy this whole first section of A, and we're gonna do a restaurant bar on the corner. Then I'm gonna have some commercial leasing. Part of the deal with the city of Early, we're going to put a spot in there for the visitor center that they will, you know, have people in and help, you know, host things on the boardwalk and, you know, maintenance on the boardwalk and everything. So, you know, it's all looking real exciting to us.
We use a lot of local subs, so in the building of the building, all the mechanical companies, we use a lot of local on, and so it'll create a lot of jobs during the building aspect, and then, you know, once we get everything up and open, of course it'll be hosting a lot of full-time job positions as well. So we originally was contacted about some of these Gs, and I was kind of buying into that and thought that was a good idea. And Kenneth said, he goes, man, I want to be right on the boardwalk. And he said, well, that's you know, that's more commercial.
I've been to places that had boardwalks, and it's just such a cool atmosphere. And you know, and I've talked to people, and a lot of people would bill for it around Lake Brownwood and stuff, and they want to come to town, and there's not a real sweet hangout place, you know, and it's kid friendly, and this just has everything that we hear people wanting. It's kind of a
kayaking, fishing, eating at the restaurant, just everything about it seems like it'd be a nice place for Brown County residents and visitors alike to come down and enjoy. I think the vision that, you know, the city of Early and Tony, Aaron, and some of them down here have come up with is just is brilliant. I think it's going to create a lot of jobs. It's a very, very neat deal. It didn't take very long for us at all. One meeting before we were like, we want to be a part of this.
So what you just heard is we have our first commercial buildings in plans and ready to start building. At the same time, the street and boardwalk is being built. There's another slide in there. And again, this is the way it's going to look from the boardwalk. The restaurant will be at the north end, space for lease, visitor center, and another space for lease, which I figure will be leased pretty quickly once it's built. I think that deserves a round of applause. Another slide. And this boardwalk restaurant will be 18,400 square foot. We'll have a visitor center section there as well as the one here, because it is a little ways from here to town center, lake, etc. So as they say in the radio and TV business, stay tuned, because that's coming. Okay? And then national economic development.
Good afternoon. My name is Byron Patel, and I'm with Patriot Hospitality. Patriot Hospitality is a family-owned hospitality management and development company based out of Dallas. In 2018, we opened up the Holiday Inn Express Hotel in Early, and most recently opened up the Home 2 Suites by Hilton Hotel in Brownwood. I am excited to share that we will be developing another hotel in Early within the planned Early Town Center project, the Town Place Suites by Marriott. With an estimated development cost of $11.5 million, this hotel will feature 75 studio suites with an outdoor patio, meeting space, and fitness center. All studio suites feature a sleeping area, living room, and full kitchen. It is the first Marriott branded hotel within a 75-mile radius of Early. We look forward to continuing the growth of Early.
So here's a little bit of information about the Town Place Suites and what it will look like. And it will be at the north end of the Mangrum Street on the west side. So we're building that first street, first slice of land along the boardwalk and lake. And then 48 hours ago, we got this announcement about, go ahead, a place called Atwood's Ranch and Home Goods. And I believe this is going to be 63,000 square foot retail. It's going to be located. And it's going to be located at 1701 Early Boulevard. Now, if you don't know where that is, get on the road, start towards Comanche, and it's on the east side or the south, right side of the road, just past Jenkins Springs Road. And they've announced that they're going to start building there. And we'll show you a little video. If you don't know what Atwood's is, we've got a little video from one of their small stores in Oklahoma. Now, if you happen to be headed to Dallas by way of Stephenville, they just opened the Atwood's in Stephenville on 281. It's a massive complex. What's the next slide? Okay. Okay. Got a map here. Is it animated or just that? Okay. All right. So you can see where the hotel is going to be, where the first commercial buildings are, the boardwalk, and the first street. And again, as they say in the radio TV world, stay tuned. There are other things coming. We just can't tell you about them yet. As you can tell, we're moving forward. Early's place is in the sun. Like we said last year, Early's time to shine. Come ahead.